Hello, hello, hello. Glad everybody could make it. I'm just setting up here a little bit, getting ready. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Just getting things ready here. Okay, let's see here. Steve and Leanne and Viking, how you doing? And Pete. Hey, Viking, there's something I need to talk to you about. I got a really good suggestion for you, buddy. You want to learn this stuff? You want to learn about robotics? Robotics and CNC, they kind of go together. And after the session, I'll get a hold of you on Messenger, okay? And I'll fill you in on what you need to do, okay? Very, 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 very cheap, and it's a course you can take, okay? The course is free. And the only thing you need to do is you need to get an Arduino board and that, and I'll show you where to get it. And then we're talking like, it's not much at all. Okay? I'll keep you, I'll fill you in on that one. I was thinking about you last night, and I thought, man, oh man, this course here you would love it, really. It would change your life. Because you start learning how to program an Arduino board using code, guess what? That's going up that way. So we'll fix you up. I'll fix you up. Just gonna give everybody some more time to get logged in here. First thing I was thinking about talking about tonight is, which I really didn't cover in the 3018 first part, the first marathon 3018. One thing I did not cover, which was really dumb, was tramming up your machine. In other words, the levelness of your table and your x-axis, how to level them up so that you're not carving here and then nothing over here, okay? So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do tonight. Hey, Bill. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, just a couple more minutes. Let me put a... I just got to put a tool in my machine. And Yeah, just getting her done here, and I'll be ready with you guys in just 1 second. Just getting things ready here. Okay, who is here? Yeah, Bill's here. Jessica, how you doing, Jessica? You got to follow along, okay? Oh, Leanne wants to know where everybody is from. Hey, one thing I don't, can you guys see all the different, can you see all the different, comments? I have no clue if you can or not. But, Leanne wanted to know where everybody was from. And Cindy, how you doing, Cindy? Cindy's up in Canada, right? And Robert, hey, guess what, man? Sorry, I fell asleep. I was really, really tired. I'd been out working all day, and I waited for your call, and then I just kind of fell asleep. But I'll get a hold of you. Um, hey, John, glad you can make it. Jessica, Missouri, okay, North Carolina. I'm really, really from upstate New York. I'm really from upstate New York, but I've lived everywhere. Okay? Let's see. Cindy. Yes, Cindy is. She is from Canada. Robert. Perron. Rhode Island. John. Yes. Hello from Arizona. Carol Bond. Hi. Glad you could make it. Okay. Let's get the show on the road. Let me see here. I'm just getting easel. Oh, no. Okay. No biggie. No biggie. What I will do is, guess what? Guess what? This is the first time I have ever seen it. This is the first time I have ever seen it. Wait a minute. I almost canceled the whole damn thing here. Hitting the wrong button. Look at easel. Easel is down for maintenance. Maybe that means that we can expect a new version of easel or something. And it says we are doing planned maintenance and we'll be back up shortly. You can visit us at inventables.com. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. So easel is down. So I'll just fire up laser GRBL because I need to use jog buttons. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Steve Morgie is from Massachusetts, but living in Floyd. Or is that Florida? Floyd. Where's that, Steve? You mean Florida? Mark Leonard. Mark Leonard, you always go on when my phone is at 4%. Yeah, Steve, Florida. Thank you, man. Okay, let's see here. James F. McFarland. Is that Wyoming or what? WA? Buffy? Washington. Okay, I got to ask Buffy about that. All right. All right, all right. Let's do some. Right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to talk about the 3018. Okay? So, what I'm going to talk about is tramming up, leveling up your table in relationship to your x-axis, okay? Now, okay, I really, really hope, I hope that my thing is working tonight. Okay. For some reason, let me see here. I don't know what it is with my z-axis. Okay, well, I'm just going to make believe it is working. Okay? And what I'm going to do is this. Watch. When you're having problems with, for example, let's say it's carving really deep on this side. Let me get some light on here. Let's say it's carving really deep on this side and it gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and it doesn't carve hardly anything over here. Okay? So, in other words, this table is cocked this way. Okay? It's like this. It's higher up here. The distance between here and this table is less than this here. Okay? So as this is going across, it's going up, making the cut shallower. Okay? Now, this is the way I tell people how to do it. And you want to bring your... Okay, now I can't bring it much closer because I have a limit switch there. Let me see. Okay, that's as close as I can get it. And okay, and then I bring it right up to the edge of my table. Okay, so now what I do is, now I'm using my hand right now, but if you were using your machine, I would say using a piece of paper like I taught you, okay? You keep moving the piece of paper the whole time, and first you bring it down with 1 millimeter movements, and then once you start getting close, you change your increment to 1/10 of a millimeter, and when you start getting really close, okay, once you start getting really close, then you go down to 1/100th of a millimeter, and you creep right up on it until that paper just stops. Okay? Once it stops, then what you do then is you put your increment to 1 millimeter. Okay? And you go up on your z-axis 1 millimeter. Okay? So now my machine is 1 millimeter above where I just touched off. Okay? So now what I do is I bring my machine over. Let me see. Now that was... Okay, now I'm all the way over at the other side now. So now, what I do is I put my increment on 1/10 of a millimeter. Okay? Because we are supposedly 1 millimeter over now. So we know that 10 clicks of 1/10 is equal to 1 millimeter. Okay? So now, by moving our paper, I start clicking down, 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 and let's say I've clicked 10 times and my paper is still moving. Well, duh, it's because this side of the table is lower. This side of the table is lower. So you're going to click at least 10 times, and you have to keep count. So now, let's say I've clicked down 10 times and I'm still way off. So now I keep clicking down, clicking down, clicking down, clicking down, clicking down, and I find out that I have to click down 11 times more. Okay, so I've clicked a total of 21 times. That means I am 1.1 millimeter off. You understand that? Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Where is my pencil? I just hate why I can't keep track of anything in here. I lose things all the time. Okay, let me see if this one works. Okay, all right, let's see if this works here. Now, we're gonna say that this is our table, okay? And this was our tool. And I forgot to tell you what I did. What I did here, I just took a tool upside down and I put the flutes, the cutting flutes, up in there, and I'm using the bottom of the shank as a probe, okay? So I'm using that as a probe. That is my indicator. I do not want to use a sharp tool on my bed. This is the dull back end of the tool. Okay? It's nice and smooth, and it's like right now everything is locked right down. All right, now what I did was, here's my probe. Okay? And I touched it off on my table. Okay? I touched it off right down here, which is 0. And then I took it up 1 millimeter. Took it up 1 millimeter. Okay? So now this gap here is 1 millimeter. Kabish? Then I moved my whole axis over to the other side of my table. Okay? And now on the other side, I was 1 millimeter above. Now, I don't know how far off I am. I don't know what this gap here is, okay? So what did I do? I put it on 1/10 of a millimeter, which is 0.1 to begin with. That's where I am right now. 1/10, 0.1, 0.1 of a millimeter above my, that's where I was on the other side of the table, 1 millimeter. So now, I put my jog, my increment, I put it on 0.01. Okay? And I put my piece of paper in there, and we know that this table here is lower. Okay? So we know that we're going to have to hit 1/10 of a millimeter. We're going to have to go down at least that. So that is 10 of these. 10 of these equals 0.1. So just like pennies and dimes. Okay? There's no difference. So when we have this in 1/100th in pennies, okay, 1/100th of a millimeter, and we go down 10 times. 10 times. That puts us exactly where we were right here. Okay? So we went up 1/10 of a millimeter here. Or I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. We went up 1 millimeter here. So if we have 1/10 of a millimeter selected in our increment, 10 of these are equal to 1 millimeter. Okay? And 10 of these are equal to 1/10 of a millimeter. So, first thing we do, we put it in 1/10 of a millimeter. Because we want to go down 1 millimeter. So we have to go 10 times. So first you click down, click down 10 times. Okay? Now you should still be above because your table is lower here. Now, what you do is that distance there, let's say you still have to keep clicking 1/10 of a millimeter. Okay? I'm sorry, 1/10, 0.1 millimeters. You keep clicking down. And we found out that we had to click a total 10 times first to get down to 1 millimeter. Go down 1 millimeter. Go down 1 millimeter, okay? Plus, we had to click 10 more times. Now, I'm exaggerating here, okay? We had to click 10 more times, which equals 1 millimeter. Then we clicked one time, and our paper was caught underneath the tool, the shank, okay? So that is equal 1 millimeter, and you are 1 millimeter and 1/10 millimeter off. So you're too low that much. Now there's two ways to fix it. And in 99% of the cases, there will be enough play to do it without any hassle. Here, your gantry. This is your gantry. Okay? This is your gantry. You got 6 screws here. The first thing I would do, the side that is high, this side here is high, okay? So, let me see, just a second. Get this out of the way a little bit. Okay, so since this side here is obviously too high because it's cutting shallow, and you are too high 1.1 millimeters, okay? Then what you do is you loosen up all 6 of these screws and you try to push that gantry down, okay? And you hold it down as you tighten up the screws, okay? And there is enough play between this side, between pushing this side down and tightening it up, and then you check everything again. And you double check it. Everything again. You double check it. Make sure and use the smaller increments. Creep up on that 0 point so you are 100% accurate. If you are off, it will show up on every project you do. And especially if you are carving, let's say, if you are doing a acrylic engraving where you're only going a 0.5 millimeter deep. If you are off a little bit, it will show up very clearly. I'm going to tell you one thing. That machine of yours should be within 0.05 hundredths of a millimeter. That's how close your machine should be. The difference should not be any more than that. And to be honest with you, it actually should be that. Okay? This is how accurate your machine is. I mean, we're splitting hairs here. Way down. Okay? But if your machine is off, every project you do will be off. So, you can loosen these up and then once you check it out, let's say, oh, well, you're down, by changing just that side there, pushing it down, let's say that you got within 0.2 of a millimeter difference. Then you can just loosen these up and lift it up a little bit on this side, just a tiny little bit. And what you do is you use your probe as a gauge. You just know where you're at, know exactly where keep track of all the numbers, all the clicks, and you'll always know where your spindle is at in relationship to the table. So let's say you are 1/10 millimeter off. Okay, after you adjusted that side there. Then what you can do is you can bring your tool down again with your piece of paper and you touch it off, okay? There, my paper is stuck, okay? Then, after you've measured several times, you cannot do it one time. This is something, when you tram up your table, you will do this measurement from here to here at least 10 times. Okay? This is not just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It is not like that. Okay? It is not like that. You have to keep going back and forth, maybe readjusting, back and forth. It sounds very tedious, and yes, it is. But if you want to achieve accuracy with your machine should be set up accurately. So now, I got my paper underneath here, and I found out I am 1/10 of a millimeter off. Okay? So what I can do is I can bring this up 1/10 of a millimeter. Okay? No, I would have to, what I would have to do is I'd have to lift up my gantry and bring my spindle down 1/10 of a millimeter. I'm just saying, that we were off. Now, let's say that this was when we measured here. When we measured here, we measured 0. When we got over here, this was still 1/10 of a millimeter lower. Lower. Okay? So there was air when it got over here. So in other words, now we've adjusted this all the way down as far as we can go. So we still need to go up 1 millimeter here. Okay, so what you do is you loosen up your screws here. And when this is at 0 on your machine right here, like this, let's say, okay, so it's right there. What I do then is I loosen these up and I push this gantry up, okay, so that you will see air underneath your tool. When you pushed it up enough to see air underneath your tool, guess what? Then you go down 1/10 of a millimeter, which you were off, okay? You go down 1/10 of a millimeter, and then you carefully bring your gantry down. You just tap it down really, really carefully. And I'll tell you, don't loosen the screws all the way up. I mean, if it's just like hanging like there, you don't want that. You want it kind of solid but loose. And then you can just tap it, either with your finger or something, and you tap it down until you brought yours, once it was up, okay? Once you loosened it up and you pushed it up, okay? Then you brought your Z-axis down 1/10 of a millimeter. Now we start tapping down here, tapping down until our paper gets caught. Okay? Use your jog buttons and your intervals. They are your troubleshooting masters. Let the machine work for you. Okay? There are other ways, but I mean, I'm not going to go into it now. I can show you really, really quick. There's another way you can measure, is by doing this. Okay? And you can measure from your spindle bracket to your table. Like that. Okay? But you have to find a very good place to measure. But you can use your calipers. When you have measured, let's say you got well, let me just move this over a little bit and I'll show you what I mean. It's easier to show you what I mean here. Okay. Now what I mean by this is I'm just trying to find a good place to show you and explain it at the same time. Okay, so right there, I'm going to move my thing over just a little bit more. There. So, and when you find a place that you're going to use, okay? When you find a corner that you are going to use, like right there, okay? Always use the same exact corner. Okay? So, right now, I have touched off right there. Okay? I have touched off and I am touching down on there. And my calipers are perfectly in line, straight. And it is 129.45 millimeters. Okay? Now, what do I do now? Watch this. I zero it out. Okay? I zeroed it out. So now, if I move my z-axis or x-axis all the way over here, I can measure using the same exact place again over here. And since I zeroed it out, guess what? Any difference will show up on your calipers. Okay? So, that's how you use calipers to measure stuff like that. You can measure here. If you're wondering about your x-axis moving, you can go in here and measure from your gantry to the side of your machine. And then zero it out. And then move it 10 millimeters and see, and then just remeasure, and it'll tell you if it's moving exactly 10 millimeters or not. Okay, that's how you use your calipers. All right. Now. We talked about the 3018. Okay. And I was using laser GRBL just to do the jogging because Easel was down. All right. Now, what we are going to do today is what we decided on last night. Is how to find things on the internet. How to find things on the internet. Okay. Open up Google Chrome browser. Okay. So, Google search. Okay, now we're in Google search. Okay. And in here, I put free. First word. Oh, let me get rid of all that. Free. Black. And white. Clip art. Okay. There we go. Free black and white clip art. Adobe stock free photos. Get your 10 free images. Okay. Black and white free images. Find black and white free images. Okay, let's go there. Okay. And let's see here. I'm just looking down here and seeing. Okay. Royalty-free images. Let's see what this is. Royalty-free images. Click on here. This isn't the frickin', this is not what I'm looking for. This is not what I'm looking for. I am looking for the Google search bar. Okay? Wait a minute. There we go. Here now we click on images. Okay? All right, now let's put in here. Let's see. Backspace. Let's say clip art. Or let me see. First free. Free free clip art images. Okay? And here you got all these images. Now I'm going to put in free, try this, B/W. Oh, didn't get that space in there. Okay, now, let's say nautical. Okay, nautical. Okay, watch this. Well, I could just say nautical just for now, because it's actually what I'm really looking for. I was looking for the compasses, just for the heck of it. And here you have nautical stuff. I mean, everything you want. Okay, show more images. I mean, there's stuff like here, like for example here, you can click on this, right click on it. Okay, any image you see, if you right click on it, you go down here and you say save image as. So let's say I'm going to go up here. Let me see. I'm just going to click away. Get rid of that. And let me see here. I'm going to go up just to this nautical. Oh, this is a pretty cool one here. And I right click on it. Okay? Save image as. Okay, I see here. Now, I can name it. First, I'm going to put it I want to put it in a correct place. And I have on my machine, I have made folders. And I highly suggest that you people make folders for, let's say, for laser GRBL files right here. I click on that. Okay, so now whatever I make this to, it is going to go into my laser GRBL files. So I type in here, I'm going to call this nautical compass. Okay, now I can save it as a JPEG. Okay, I can only save it as a JPEG. Simple. Boom. So I just done saved it. So whenever I'm ready, I can go print that out. Okay? And let's try some more. Nautical images. Okay, images, nautical. Funny faces. Just for the heck of it. There you go. Huh? There you go. You have all those. Now, if you click on something like this and you say save link as, save image as, okay? Now there's my nautical compass, and this one I'm going to call funny faces. Funny faces. And it's JPEG, and that's all I can do. That's all I can, because there's no more. No, I can only save it as JPEG. Okay, so save. All right, now I can go on and on and on. I mean, I gotta mention this. I don't know if any of you were here with me the other time, a long time ago, when I was teaching the exact same thing as right here. Okay? I was going to use an example, and I was going to type in clocks. Okay? And everybody is watching just like you are there. And I hit enter, And when I hit enter, guess what? I forgot to put the L in there. Yep. And you talk about me trying to find that back button real quick. Yep. It was funny. It was funny. So if you want to find a face to burn onto here you go. Right here, look at. There's your clock right here without any mickmark. It's just there's no hands on it, and you can use this to burn a clock face. So I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say save image as, and I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to say clock with the L. Clock face. Okay? So, I have downloaded those now. I'm just going to minimize this. I'm going to, just for the heck of it, I'm going to open up easel. Or, no, wait a minute. Before I do this, I have to open up, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking for my, I have to find my Inkscape. Inkscape, there we go. So now we're going to open up Inkscape and we're going to modify some things. Boy, I'm glad my computer is so fast. I mean, is it going to start? Okay, there. Didn't double click it. So now it should start up. Here we go. Okay. So now, what are we going to do? File. Open. And where do we want to file? Where do we want to open it from? We want to open it from... Oh, not in documents. No. We want to go to C, and we go down to laser GRBL files. Okay, open. And we go down to funny faces. Funny faces. Okay, open. JPEG bitmap image import type. Let's see, image dot per inch from file. Image rendering mode, none. Okay, from file, okay. Embedded link, okay. We do say okay on that. And it opened up another. And now you see these here, they're not very sharp. Okay? So let's try this. Let's try this. See if any of this helps. Okay, open. Let's see. Oh, no, not edit. There we go. Open. And I'm in laser GRBL files. Let's just try that one more time. Funny faces. Okay, open. Let's see if we get that same dialog box. Yeah. Default import resolution. And optimize quality. Let's see there. Okay, let's try that. And still, they're not really sharp. But what you can do is you can go and you can crop. Okay, edit. Now, to be honest with you, I am not the person really that should be teaching you this Inkscape because I hardly ever use it. Okay? Where's crop? Well, anyways, this is the way you do it. You just crop one image. And then you save it. You save it as another image. Okay? That's the way you do it. Now let's try it. Let's try another one. File, open. Let's see what those other ones look like that I downloaded. Nautical compasses. Let's see what they look like. Okay, now you see these free images. You see they got watermarks on them. You see this mark here? That's watermarks. So it's unusable. You can't get rid of those watermarks. So they were not free. Okay? So I'm going to close that one, and I'm going to minimize that one, and I'm going to go back into Google here and complain. All right. I'm going to go back one. All right, let's see here. What does it say here? Adobe stock clip art download 10 free images. Search for great stock photos, top quality. Okay. Free pick. Free photos. Download the best photos. Search. Here you can search for whatever you want. Now these are photos. And let's just, if I put in here, let's see clip art, as if there's anything clip art. Yeah, there's quite a bit. Well, it's not what I was expecting. It's all about how you search, what you use as a search criteria. Okay, and now I'm back to here. Let's just try just images again, and let me see what comes up as far as that. Okay. Oh, and then here, wait a minute. Here I have images selected, color, let's say black and white. Okay. I mean, here you can go, you can scroll and scroll and scroll until you are blue in your face. Now let's try this one here. Okay. Save image as. Fruit. Fruit. Okay. All right, now I'm going to minimize this and let's see what that one looks like. File, open. Fruit. Let's see what that one looks like. Well, see, that's not bad. Now you can work with that. You can definitely work with that. So it's all about where you search, what you search. Okay? Let's just look at a couple other things here. Okay, I'm just going to And that one, just that one. Okay. Let's go back up here. Now that you've gotten into the really cool place, now you can say all there, and photos gives. Okay, you got all of these here. Now let's just try. Horses. Oh, hoses. Horses. Let's see what comes up there. Wow, check it out. Check it out. Let's try something else. I know the big popular thing now is, let's try this. Okay. Oh, well, it didn't, I guess they cleaned up their act, I guess. I mean, there's some cool ones. Let's try this one here. Save image as. SKULL. Oh, there it is right there. There's a cockahead. Now you see there? Look there. You see it's got a stamp behind it. And this one here has a stamp also. Those there, you're not going to get them. You'll get them with that stamp. And it's really, unless you really know what you're doing with Inkscape, you can get rid of it, but it's really hard. I've done it, but it's hard. Okay? Now let's see what happens with that one. Open up. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it right in. Watch this. I'm going to say File, Open. And I am going to open it in. Let me see. Laser GRBL. I have to go find it there. Laser GRBL files. And I have to file name. Skull. I know it's got to be here. Didn't I put it in? I thought I put it in laser GRBL files. Let's see. P Q R R R S. No, I may not have done it right. Let's see. Save image as. Oh, it's right there. And it's in laser GRBL files, and it is a JPEG image. Okay, save. No. Skull 1. And make another copy of it. Okay, let's see what we can find now. File, open. And I want to go to laser GRBL files. Laser GRBL files. PQR. That is weird. That's really weird. That is really weird. Let me see here. I don't have any other laser GRBL files. And I'm, okay, let's just say JPEGs. Okay, I know what it's doing now. Just a second here. And what it wants is, it wants a G-code file, a raster, any supported files. But the weird part is that, let me see here just a second. Let me see, come into, and then here I say file, open, and I open up Skull. Okay, and I open it up. Okay, and I opened it up, and it looks really sharp. Actually, look at there. There is a watermark on it. But if you're good using the airbrush here, you can airbrush that away. If you know what you're doing, you can airbrush that away, and you will have that skull image. Okay? Now, what you do is we export. Let's see. Export drawing. Let me see. With file name. Export as. Bitmap PNG. Okay. And let's see if we can bring it into Laser GRBL files. Okay, and we call it Skull. PNG. Okay, now we saved it there. Let's just see what happens. See if I can pick it up with. I gotta tell you, it's so seldom that I do this, and I tell you people all the time, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay? Everything I've taught you so far, if you do not use it, you will lose it. Okay, let's see if there's anything down here as far as Skull now. And there isn't. Now see, I can't remember how I imported all of these pictures. All of these pictures, I've imported them. Let me see this one here. This is a... I want to just see what kind of properties. Let's see. That's a PNG file. Just what I thought it was, a PNG. Okay? That's okay. That's a PNG. Now, let's free unicorn P Q R. Damn, I do not understand where that skull has gone. But all these here have been downloaded from let me see. All right, let me just see here what people are saying. Hey Rob, how you doing, man? And James McFarlane and Ian Potter and Steve, and there's an Indian name I cannot say, and Pete and Mark Leonard. Folders of random whatever in my head that day. 30 tabs. Open my browser. Okay, Jessica. What other formats would be able to save as besides JPEG? Now, I thought before this image here, for example, let me look at the properties of that. I thought it was a regular JPEG. And this is a JPEG file. Yeah, this is a regular JPEG file. And I'm going to show you something. I mean, I can go right here to File. I can open File. And I can go into my Laser GRPL files. And here I go. I mean, and this is right from a watch. There you go. That was the submarine my dad was on during World War II. Okay? So you can bring JPEGs right in. But like I said, the whole thing here is using the correct terminology to find what you want. And the big one is to use the word free. Okay? And let's see here. Babies. There you go. Baby animals, babies, baby rabbit. Wow, that was a pretty cool one, actually. Cute vintage black and white rabbit clip art. Okay. Save image as. Let's see what happens here. It says JPEG image. I'll put rabbit. Rabbit. And I say save. Okay. I'm just looking here just real quick. Okay. We're just going to close that out. We're going to go down here. I'll close that out. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to say Open it. File. Let's see if there's a rabbit here. PQ. There it is. There it is. Boy, that looks really pretty, too. That looks really nice. It looks like a very nice rabbit to burn. Okay? So that is how you search for things. You just have to use the correct terminology when you're in Google search. And also, if I say next, let's see, and I just say create for the heck of it, let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, nice image. Nice image. There's things you see here, but this does not get printed. I can tell you that. It does not get burned. Okay? So, we have talked about finding images and go to Google search. Put in free black and white clip art images and then whatever you want. Okay? And I am sure, let's say, sailboats. Okay? Wow. There you go. And I'll bet you they have some really cool ones like this one here. Let's see more images. That wasn't a sailboat there. Somebody got their ducks. There's some pretty cool ones. Let's see here. I've seen some really beautiful images of the old sailing ships. I mean, like these here. Look at this. Okay. I mean, you can make some cool. You can do some cool things with these images, really. Okay, and Like I said, you can just scroll and scroll and scroll until you're blue in the face. Let's look for, let's see, New Year's Eve. Let's see what comes up like that. It's just trying things. There you go. There you go. Clip art is your, to your heart is content. Okay? I was thinking tonight I'm also going to throw in something a little bit different. Okay? Something that you people ain't done I ain't done any of it with you. I'm going to show you, how about if I show you some 3D printing? Okay? I'm going to show you some 3D printing, which is very, very cool. And I have, just so happens, I have a 3D printer here. And let me get it just hooked up here to my, unplug my 3018. And I plug in my 3D printer. Okay. And I turn my printer on. And it is not plugged in. Just 1 second. Just a second. Oh, guess what? My printer won't come on. That's okay. That is okay. Let's see what here. But I'm going to just show you what it's about. This is what now my printer is a DaVinci Junior 1.0 Pro, made by XYZ Printing. Okay. Just 1 second here. Obviously, it's a long time since I've used it. Now, there, we're just going to forget that. Now, file. Just like any other file program. Okay? They have shapes here. They have shapes, letters, and stuff like that, okay? And those are recently used ones, okay? They have shapes. And there's more shapes. If I want to just bring a shape out, I click right there, okay? And then what I can do is highlight it. And over here, it tells me all the properties. Let me see if I can move this window over. Yeah, I can do that here. Good, good. Much easier. Much more better. So here, I have properties. This is the position it's in right now. That's where it's at. Okay, if I move it, you see the position changes, okay? So that's in position there. Now dimensions, I can make it, I can go bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, remember the lock. You always have to remember these locks. Okay, if it's locked, it's going to keep the proportion. So when I increase X, it's going to increase Y. Okay? And you see that image getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to land it. In other words, there. It is setting on the platform, on the table. But what I'm going to do is get rid of that one, and I'm going to show you, grab another one, just a ball. Let's see. Grab a ball. Boom. And I'll land it right away. And then I lock the dimensions, so now I can go bigger with it. And since I go bigger, you can see it's going down into the table. So I land it again. And I'll tell you, these here, you can play with these, and it is really, really cool. Now, let's just say I want a hole right through that. Or either way, doesn't matter. Okay? Let's say I take a cylinder, and I bring a cylinder out here. Okay? Now, let's say I want to rotate it. I got to move this out a little bit, out of the way. And I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to try to show you. Okay, here you have rotate in Y. Okay, I can rotate it 90 degrees exactly, right there. Okay, I can rotate it in X also, however I want. Okay? Now, when I start looking around here, first I see that this is not lined up with my circle. So I want to see the position in Y. Right now it is 8.64. This one here, I highlighted this. This is Y. Okay. Let me see. Y 8.64 should be the center there, and then this should be, let me see, turn you around, and let me move you in X. So I can just move this in. Now what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit smaller. I want to make it to 10 millimeters. 10 millimeters. And I want to make it longer. And that way I go in X. How did I do that? I used to do that. I used to be able to sit with this and just without even think about it, make it bigger and smaller. And okay, position. Let me see something here. When I look at it like this, okay, and I can move it in my position. Okay, then and okay, and right there, I can say, let me see if it is. Here we go. Hole. Hole. Oops. Edit. Undo. I did it wrong sequence. Hole. There. There we go. So I just made a hole in my. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a hole there, right there. And then when you're done with this, let's just say I want to print it. It's this simple. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to show you some other things. Open. Don't save. Here's clamping system that I just did. This is a clamping system that, right here. Very simple. And the cool thing about these is, I'm going to show you something really cool. If you have a 3D printer, you want to go to Thingiverse, right here, Thingiverse. Now watch this. This is really, really, really cool. Here we are at Thingiverse. Now, let's say, for example, I want a box to put my Arduino board in, okay? I want a box to put my Arduino board in. So I say Arduino case. Okay? Enter. Okay. There's other things that came up. This is a fully 3D printable wind-up car gift. Right here. Arduino Uno snug case. Here is further over here. Arduino bumper. Here. 3D printer case for Arduino. These are all cases. These are all different things. Okay? There is so many cool things. Look at this. I can go more. Let's see. What do we want? Let me see here. Santa. Let's see what Santa comes up with. Here you go. I can print out these. I can print out any one of these. I mean, there's a lot of really, really cool things. Now look at this one here. A Santa girl. And that's all I have to do is click on it. Look at that. Look at that image there. How cool is that, huh? And guess what? Guess what? Right here. Download all files. Okay? So, and then here you can tip the you can either tip the person that did it. Okay? So it's just downloading right now. Okay, now I can close this. I'm going to minimize this. And now I have to go into my folders. And I have to go to my downloads. Okay, I go to my downloads and I right click on Santa Girl because it is zipped. Okay, I right click on it and I go right down here and I say open. Where does it say extract here? Okay, and now I'm going to get one more file up. There we go, Santa Girl. And that is in my downloads. All right, now watch this. Okay, now I'm going to say File, New, boom, File, Open. Okay, and I got to go to Downloads, and I go to Santa Girl, and I go to Files, and I click on AA. So let's see what happens. Let's see if I get a Santa Girl. I think it's a pretty big program, but as we are waiting, okay. The model dimensions are too. You want to resize them? Yes. Okay. Now, so the first thing I'm going to do is I would like to rotate her. Move this away a little bit, and I want to rotate her in Y. Okay? And I start rotating. And I look for 90 degrees. Oops, 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 oops. 90 degrees right there. Now, what I do is I say I want to land it. There. So now she is ready to be printed. Let me turn her around. This is a big file, let me tell you, because let's see here. Now, click on her again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make her bigger because right now she is only 18 millimeters. See, 18. Let's see, I'm going to lock the proportion and I'm going to make her bigger. Boy, this program is slow. Okay, I could just have gone in here and said 60. There Okay, now I move this here away a little bit, and I land her again. There. So now I am ready to send this to my printer. You see, she's sitting on the back of her. She's sitting on the back of her butt here, and her dress is hanging down, so it's good support there. Now, so let's just say I wanted to print this. So I go to File, and I say XYZ Print Plugin. Watch. Okay, here we go. You know, babe, my printer's dead. I'll bet it's the power supply. As we are waiting for the print window to open, hello? Oh, finally. I got to do another cleaning on my computer. My computer is getting so slow. Jessica, what other formats would be able to save as besides JPEG? PN. Well, you can bring them into Inkscape, and then you can export them as PNG. Okay, don't need that. Okay, it's loading the model, and it's going to take a bit. There we go. Problem found with the model. We detected a hole in your model's mesh. May affect your print quality. Okay, no problem. I don't care. I've seen that a lot. Okay? And there is my girl, and that's what she's going to look like when I print her. Now, I'm going to show you some of the things that you have to do. Okay? First of all, this is my printer here. It's offline because my printer is off. I think my power supply has died. So, I start down here, and I'm using PLA. That's my, the filament I'm using is PLA. Okay, now I go down here to General. Now these are my general settings. This is my feed rate. First layer nozzle, oh, I'm sorry, my temperature. My first layer nozzle temperature is 210. Nozzle temperature for the rest is 210. Infill density, I say 10%. That means that only 10% density will be filled in there. Okay? I can fill, if I go up to 100%, it will be a solid girl. But I don't want to waste all my filament filling her up inside where you don't even see. Now, when I printed this bracket, when I printed this bracket here for the Z-axis big motor, okay? This is printed solid. This is solid. This takes a lot of filament, okay? And this is what they call multicolor filament. It changes color as you're printing, okay? Metallic, too. So, I'm going to use 10% infill. Infill type, rectangular. I mean, in here, they'll tell you everything you want to know. You put your mouse over things, and I mean, it's self-explanatory. Okay, layer height, 0.3 millimeters. First layer height, 0.35 millimeters. Shell thickness, normal, 2 millimeters. Shell thickness, top surface, 3 millimeters. Shell thickness, bottom surface. So these here I really don't, the only ones I mess with are just up here, really. I don't even mess with these. You can if you want, but I get beautiful prints every time. Now here's my speed. Here's my normal speed, 30 millimeters per second. Not minutes, per second. So it's pretty fast. And that's shell normal speed. Shell surface speed. Okay, and then each one of these, it tells me what it does. So my retract speed, all that. So I got my speed, that's what I want, right there. I want supports because her feet are up in the air. And if you start printing up in the air, it's going to fall down, okay? So you have to have supports. So I say supports. Support type, rectangular. Support density, 15%. Overhang threshold. Anything that's hanging over 45 degrees, it will start making support for it. Okay? And here we go. Enable supports. Okay? So then I go here and I want to go to, also with speed, let me see, supports, I forgot down here. I use a brim, a 10 millimeter brim, which makes a skirt around the bottom, which adheres it to the table better. So now I have basically set up everything I need. Extrusion rate, retraction here. I mean, there's more things you can adjust. This is nozzle lifting for retraction, add extra filament after travel, retraction, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you'll find out later if you get a 3D printer that, and here, extrusion ratio, 100%, 100%, boom, that's it. So when I go in, that's all I do is I go to general, set up my temperature, infill density, and just kind of look at, maybe I want thicker bottom and that, I can adjust it. But then I go into my speed, I set my speeds, and basically that's it. And then I go down here to supports, and normally I don't use unless it's overhanging stuff like hanging stuff like her feet, then I have to use supports. But I always use a brim to hold it. And then I'm basically done, okay? And I say prepare. Now that's going to take a little while for it to prepare. And you're going to see this, you'll see the supports and everything. And the supports, the way they're printed, they're very, very easy to break off. You just break them off with your fingers. Let me see if I can show you here, if I'm able to. Now I don't have, since I can't turn it on, the light won't come on, but this is the inside of my printer. And you see here, these are things that I have printed that I have not even taken off my printer yet, because I got more of them over here. So I printed these probably, maybe 3-4 months ago, something like that. And I cannot find my spatula, which I need. And let me see, where is my spatula? Let me see if I can find my spatula. Anyways, what I do is I stick my spatula up underneath right there, just like that. Okay? And then I just take something like this. I just whack it. There we go. That is a piece that has just come off my machine. That was just printed as we spoke. And you see here, see all this fuzz and stuff? That's something that happens once in a while, and it's that quick to get rid of. Okay? So this is a block that I can use. Get rid of all this. Boy, Buffy just loves finding all this fuzz around. Let me tell you. But, you see there? And then what I do is, remember, this is the skirt that helped it hold. Now watch this. One-handed. There you go. No skirt no more. There's my piece. Pretty darn cool. Now, this piece will go exactly into that piece. Okay? And the way these work is you have a screw going through here to tighten it down, and then you see it's got the opposite there. So it just rests on there, and then you tighten the screw down, and it will hold down your piece. Like that. Okay? These are pretty cool. And you can print them out. These are basically the same kind of blocks that we use in the real CNC world. They look exactly the same. Exactly. There's no difference whatsoever. But the ones that we use are bigger. And they're made out of metal. Okay? So this is just to give you an idea of 3D printing. 3D printers are very cool. But do your homework before you buy one, because there's, for example, an example of this one. This one here, this is I use XYZ Maker. That was a drawing program. Now, I have two nozzles. The 0.3 millimeter nozzle is optional, which I have. Now, PLA, open filament. That one right there. This is because it is the Pro model. I can use any, see you see that spool right here, right there? That is where you put, right there, right there is where you hang a spool of filament that they sell, that this company here sells, XYZ Printing. They sell filament that you put in the machine. Okay, now I have my spool back there. I printed out my holder, my spool holder, screwed it to the wall, and my filament goes down and comes in through the back of the machine. I can use any filament I want, as long as it is open filament. There are other people that have bought this same printer, but it was not the Pro model. And guess what? With that, they have to use XYZ filaments. And by using XYZ filaments, it is expensive, and the quality is not that good. Okay? How you doing, Mike? Glad you could make it, buddy. And let's see. Okay, yeah. Cindy says I get a lot of my pictures off of Pinterest. Okay? And Kendra says, seems like I could use images from one of my other hobbies too. Yeah. Yep. So, this one here also has auto leveling. Very, very good thing. Printing size, 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters. And how big is 15 centimeters? I'm going to show you something. 15 centimeters. Right there. Well, let me see if I can. There you go. 15 is what? 6 inches. Or pretty damn close to it. It's a little bit off. But roughly, 15 centimeters is 6 inches. Okay? So. I can print 6 by 6 by 6 inches here. So, you see my table is 6 inches by 6 inches, and I can print 6 inches high. Okay? So that is 3D printing. Now, okay, look at here. Look at here. There they're showing. Here they are showing you what that girl is going to look like when she comes out of my printer. You see everywhere, and these here, you can see here, they're paper thin walls that are just supporting different areas. All these areas are hanging more than 45 degrees. Okay? So the program is putting supports in there. And remember her feet? Okay? Right there you can see all the supports underneath her feet. Okay? And all this happens automatically. It's all magic. And that's all you do is after I printed her out, I just go and break off all this blue stuff. Okay? I can actually take it away. You see, and now I put it back again. I can take away her. That's the shell. Now what we're looking at here is the infill. Huh? That's the infill. I can take away the infill. Now you're just looking at the supports. Pretty cool, huh? That is just the supports there. And the brim, the 10 millimeter brim. So now I can look at my infill again, and then my shell, my outer shell. And there she is. And it will be, I mean, these prints, let me tell you, they come out, I mean, dead accurate. These are just some that I play around with. Okay, this is one here. I mean, I have printed stuff from SolidWorks. This is something my cousin designed in SolidWorks. It is a rope. It's for hanging fenders on a bigger boat. And you use this to adjust your fenders up and down. And this here is a mechanical drawing that he designed. And this here is supposed to be spring-loaded here. And you have a button. Actually, you have a button here that you push in that pushes this away. And the rope goes right through here. Okay, so that locks the rope. And then you push the button and it pushes this away and lets the rope move freely. And then you let go of the button here and it locks. Really, really cool. These are really cool. And my cousin designed this and I printed it out and it is dead on. I mean, it is exactly. I mean, here, even when I print it out, you see these guide pins here and here? When I put this on in here, look at that. That is a perfect thing. Okay? And that was from a SolidWorks mechanical drawing. Okay? I print out things like, for example, cleats for my kayaks. I want ropes for putting an anchor, little anchor, because I fish a lot, so I wanted a cleat, so I printed out cleats. Here is a turbine that I have printed out. This is what a turbine looks like. Okay? Here's a horse or a unicorn that I printed out for my granddaughter, but she dropped it and broke the legs off, so I have to glue those back on. Okay? I have a HO railroad setup, and I've been printing out houses. Okay? And this is one of the uglier ones. Oh, you should see some of the ones that I have printed out. But I mean, here are gears that I printed out. I do silver work, rings, necklaces, stuff like that. And I wanted ring sizers. I wanted to be able to measure rings and measure people's fingers. So guess what? I just printed them out. I'll tell you, you can print out anything you want. Here's chess pieces. And then here's some chess pieces that I actually made myself out of wood. This is the castle. And then this is a king. These are cut out in 3D by hand. So, there's a lot of, I mean, here, screw ups. Oh no, that one it was for something else. Oh, that was for a Dremel. And this here is for a Dremel, to put on a Dremel and to sharpen drill bits. Mickey Mouse thing. Here is a submarine that I printed out. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I got here just laying around it. But 3D printing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And it doesn't take that much you don't have to be that savvy about it. Now, look at this. Here, I will use 29.544 meters of filament. In other words, basically 30 yards, almost 30 yards of filament. And this print will take 6 hours and 30 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay? So, if my printer had been working, I could have started it now. And these here, you can let them go. Well, let me tell you, one time, Buffy just gave me a weird look from out there because I did let it go one time. Well, a lot of times I let it go overnight. And let me tell you what. What happened was, I gotta try to get this one right. What was it that happened? But anyways, what it ended up doing was for like 5 hours, it just fed filament out, and it came out, and it was all right here. I mean, it was out into the living room. When we came out in the morning, the dog was laying in her bed, and she was looking at that filament like, my God, this stuff is going to come and get me. So, instead of cutting it, I didn't want to cut it because it was still attached to and it was not used. It had just been fed out. And so I had to wind up that whole, it was a rat's nest here. So, yes, shit does happen with 3D printers too. No matter what machine you have, as long as it's kind of modern technology, guess what? You're going to have faults. For Christmas, my daughter gave us a very, very cool night light for the bedroom. Oh man, let me tell you what. That thing is a laser. It's a 5-watt laser, and it literally, the lens on it is kind of like a half a ball. So it lights up the walls and the ceiling and everything. And there are laser stars that move. They're moving. And it has the nebula and all that moves around. And it changes color real slow. And it moves as it's changing color and stuff. Like the nebula. I mean, gorgeous colors and stuff. And then you have all these stars that are moving and different intensities and everything. And then you have shooting stars in there, and you have UFOs that it'll appear and then go down, really quick, and then it'll just disappear. Very, very, very cool. And we've been turning it on at night when we go to bed and watch TV and that, and went to turn it on night before last. Nada. It's a unit. It's a unit you set on the floor or on a table or whatever, and it's got a little power supply you plug in, and you have to control it with a remote. Okay, and I turned it on with the remote. Nothing happened. So I thought, well, it's got to be either the remote or, excuse me, it was either the remote or the unit or the power supply. Well, with my meter, I can actually measure if a remote is working. The infrared signal of that. I can measure that. So the remote was okay. I measured the power supply. It was supposed to be 5 volts. Well, guess what? It was varying between 0.2 volts, 2.1 volts. It would jump up to 3 volts. It would go back down to 0.5. It was just like that the whole time. So the power supply was shot. Went on. I looked at my power supply. I measured the connector and the hole in the connector. Measured them. Went on Amazon. $6. Found the exact same power supply, which was better. Instead of 1 amp, it was 2 amps. $6. So we got a new power supply coming. So that's what's cool about being repairman. Yes, and I can repair everything I own, whether it be the TV, my vehicle, sewing machine, 3D printer, computer. I mean, I fix it everything. As a matter of fact, I was telling Buffy just the other night, we were laying in bed talking, and I said, what's really weird? I said that when I got stationed after my submarine duty, which I was a radioman on submarines, then I went to the NATO base in Norway. And there I worked in the maintenance department. And that was from 1975. I worked in the maintenance department. And guess what the maintenance department does? It fixes everybody else's problems. Well, that has been my job ever since. Every job I have had has been repairing other people's things. So you really get to know people after a while. A lot of people, their machine would break down, or whatever they had break down, and then I would come out and they would almost blame me because it broke down. And then I would have to sweet talk them and smooth talk them, and by the time I was finished with them, that had a meeting out of my hand. It was a lot of fun. But I've learned a lot from fixing other people's problems. Anyways, I'm going to cut this one short tonight. This is just going to be a 2-hour one. So this was just kind of fill in some video time here. But I hope you guys got an idea, what 3D printing. It had, kind of like a little bit of an idea what 3D printing is about, where you can find anything for 3D printing on thinggivers.com. Thinggivers.com. So, it's there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff out here to play with. Oh, I'll show you one thing Buffy got me for Christmas. Very, very cool. I haven't really got to play with it very much. This is a 3D printing pen. Okay? So I put filament, I hook a power supply up to it here, and I feed the filament in here. And it's got a little motor. It feeds the filament. It heats it up and melts. I set the temperature here and everything. And when I push this button, the filament starts coming out. And she got me this pad, and it has like detents in it. So I can just follow in the detent, and I can follow around, and it will make exactly that. Let me see here. There we go. That was better. So I can just take this pen and I can go around like that circle and then finish it right there. And then I can just lift that up, and that's one hard little circle. And I can make another one and then put that one inside and kind of just touch it and glue it together. And you can build up around. I mean, it's pretty cool. Let me show you. Let me see if there's any pictures. But I don't have any pictures per se right here. But you should get the idea. I mean, here's just what they're showing on the box, okay? Make 3D stuff like that. Scribe 3D. Okay? So, I haven't had a chance to play with it. Because I'm teaching people. But that's okay. I enjoy doing it. All right. I'm going to hang her up tonight. So the program that I need to get free downloads are Laser GRBL, nope. No, Jim. The programs that you will need for a 3018 are easel. Oh my God, for God's sakes, not candle. Oh my God, I'm gonna puke. Really. God, I hate candle. If you have the internet at your printer, you do not need Candle. Candle is a Mickey Mouse BS program. That's all it does, is just transfers the program from your computer to your printer. And why are you going to want to do that when easel does the same thing? Okay? Or Laser GRBL does the same thing. Forget that Candle. Get rid of it. Throw it away. Delete it. Really. I'm not joking. I hate Candle. I really do. Where do we find each one? Well, first place to start, I could tell you right off. Now write this down. Laser GRBL is sold by lasergrbl.com. That simple. Easel is sold by inventables.com. Inventables.com. GRBL, you don't have to worry about it. It's already burned into your machine. Those are the GRBL settings that are burned into your machine when you get it. Okay? The only thing you need to download is Laser GRBL and easel and Inkscape to edit the pictures that you're going to use with Laser GRBL. Okay? So, easel is by Inventables. Laser GRBL is by lasergrbl.com. Okay? And if you were wondering and you did not know it, you could have just gone to Google search and typed in easel, EASEL, and it would have come right up with Inventables. Okay? And Inventables, I've shown you people before. You can spend an entire day on Inventables. And if you don't do it, you are shooting yourself in the foot, because there is so much wonderful information there and free stuff. Take advantage of it. Really, take advantage of it. Free stuff is cool. Free stuff is good. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm starting to get hoarse, okay? And I got to be... Tomorrow night. Tell me, what do you guys want? What do you want to hear? What do you want to learn? I'll wait. It takes about 30 seconds. But... Okay. You're welcome, Cindy. You're welcome. Thank you very much. When I'm good, I'm good. And when I'm bad, then I'm really good. Okay? What do you guys want to listen to tomorrow? What do you want? You want me to get up here and dance on the table or something? When I used to drink, I'd do stuff like that. Yep, no more drinking. No. Me and drinking don't get along good. Come on, no suggestions for tomorrow night? Anything I want to teach. Make a box and import Buffy Loves Paul. Shit, she's got so many of those already. Really. Oh. She's spoiled. She's spoiled. She says, yeah. All right, listen. I'm going to get off of here. Thank you people again and again for showing up. It always makes it fun. You know, I don't want to sit here and talk to myself with nobody here. Anyways, and boy, we stirred up a hornet's nest last night. It's fun though, ain't it? Huh? Isn't it fun kind of fire up underneath people? Cut through carving. I can do that. I could actually do it. Yeah, but no, that's okay because people have to learn. I never touched on that because you have tabs, and there's quite a bit to learn about tabs. Because using tabs will make you work a lot, or it will screw up your part. Okay, but I can do that. But what I'll do is I'll bring up easel, and we'll just go through easel and go through all different kind of weird things. I can show you guys some cool tricks and stuff like that. Okay. So, and I can also show you a little bit about how to manipulate your 0 points with other numbers. Okay? I'll show you that. We'll do that. We'll play with easel tomorrow. And we'll do that, take it on the fly. You know, I mean, I'll watch what you guys are commenting about and we'll pick it up from there. Okay? Same time, same channel, same station. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. Bye.